The milk carton in Japan doesn't say miruku, it says gyunyu. But the creamer next to the coffee? That's miruku. Same white liquid, 2 words, and neither is a mistake. Japanese keeps hundreds of pairs like this, a loan word from English and an older word sharing one meaning. There's an invisible line between them. Once you see it, you'll always know which word belongs where, and you'll stop sounding just slightly off. Here's the line for milk. Gyunyu is the drink itself. Japanese law defines exactly what earns that name. Real cow's milk, nothing added, nothing removed. So the carton and the nutrition label are gyunyu territory. Miruku owns the softer edges, the splash in your coffee, milk tea, baby formula, kona miruku. Listen to the 2 in action. Gyunyu ga kusatta. The milk in the fridge went bad. Kolcha ni miruku o ireru. Do you take milk in your tea? Neither word is more polite than the other. They simply own different corners of one meaning. And milk is just one shelf. The story you usually hear is that katakana words are flooding Japanese, wiping out older vocabulary. Japan's National Language Institute actually counted magazine vocabulary in the 50s, then again in the 90s. By the 90s, roughly 1 in 3 distinct words in those magazines was a loan word. Sounds like an invasion, but count how often each word actually gets used, and loan words carried barely 1 word in 8. Huge cast, tiny stage time. The older words still do the everyday heavy lifting, because when a loan word takes a spot, the older word almost never dies. It retreats. So the real question is never which word won, it's where did the old word go? And there are exactly 3 answers. Answer 1. The old word climbs upward into formal written Japanese. That's a register split. Answer 2. It keeps one specific slice of the meaning, the way gyunyu kept the carton. That's a domain split. Answer 3. Both words stay, but one of them carries an emotional charge the other doesn't. That's a connotation split, and it's the one that can genuinely embarrass you. Formality, territory, feeling. Watch each one happen. Formality first. Rent a small apartment in Japan, and everyone, your friends, your landlord, calls it an apato. But on the official paperwork, that same building becomes kyodo jutaku, collective housing. Nobody says that out loud. It lives on forms and in census tables. Meanwhile, the brochure selling you a nicer concrete one calls it a manshon, which is not a mansion and never was. So the ad speaks loan word, the street speaks loan word, and the paperwork speaks formal. 1 building, 3 words, 3 jobs. Same ladder, higher stakes. Business dinner. You need the restroom, and Japanese hands you 3 words. Toire, otearai, benjo. Which one do you say to the client? Lock in your answer. Toire is the neutral everyday word, safe almost anywhere. But the winner in that room is otearai, literally the place where you wash your hands. Polite, indirect. And benjo? That means place of excretion, blunt, dated. In polite company, it lands like slang at a funeral. Perfect grammar can't rescue the wrong rung. Now, before you assume the loan word always wins the everyday slot, rice. The everyday word is gohan, rice in a bowl eaten with chopsticks. It even means a meal itself. Raisu, straight from English, is boxed into one narrow scene, rice pressed onto a flat plate next to something Western like kare raisu. At home, it will only ever be gohan. Here, the older word never moved an inch. The loan word rents one small room in its house. Then there's the strangest shelf, the words that look extinct. The modern word for spoon is supun. The old word saji sounds antique if you use it for the thing in your drawer. So did it die? Listen, saji o nageru, to throw the spoon. It means to give up. Edo period doctors measured out medicine with a spoon, and when a doctor threw it down, the patient was past saving. 2 centuries later, the utensil is spoon, but that doctor's spoon still flies every time someone gives up. Po, the old word for door, pulled the same trick. Doa took the doorway, while to holds on inside amado, the storm shutter. Displaced words don't die. They go underground into idioms. 2 splits down. The last one stings. Feeling. Shakking and loan both mean borrowed money, but shakking drags shame behind it. It lives in dark idioms like shakkin de kubi ga mawaranai, so buried in debt you can't turn your neck. Loan is clean and institutional. Ginko no loan, a bank loan. Same act, borrowing money at interest, yet call your mortgage a shakking and you've painted yourself desperate. Call it a jutaku loan and you're simply a homeowner. The loan word launders the feeling. Once you can read feeling and formality, pairs start sorting themselves. Ruru is casual, game night. Ruru ihan da zo. Hey, that's against the rules. Kisoku is the written regulation. Kimi wa kisoku wo yabutta. You broke the rules, says the institution. Risk splits the same way. Risku is managed and measured. Risku kandi, risk management, while kiken is the red word on the warning sign, physical, immediate. Notice there's no overall winner in either pair, just different rooms. So here's the entire line folded into 3 questions. 1. Is this formal, written, official? Take the older word. Kisoku in the rulebook. Kyōdō jūtaku on the form. 2. Does one word own this exact slice of meaning? Use the owner. Miruku in the coffee. Raisu on the flat plate. 3. Do you want it softer, more modern, more commercial? Take the loan word. Loan, never shakkin. Now run it yourself. Miso soup. Is it soup? Formal context? No. Owned territory? Yes. Traditional Japanese food is the old word's home ground, so it's miso shiru. That's the whole skill, and you just used it. And for the moments you can't run 3 questions, menu in one hand, conversation moving, use the shortcut we opened with, the carton-test. If the word gets printed on a label, a form, a warning sign, the older word usually wins. Gyunyu, kisoku, kyōdō jūtaku. If a friend says it or someone's selling you something, the loan word usually wins. Miruku, ruru, manshon. One glance at where a word lives tells you which one it is. If you keep a single thing from this video, keep the carton test. Which brings back the carton one last time. You never needed to memorize hundreds of pairs. You needed one instinct, and you already own it. It's the same instinct that switches you into polite Japanese with a stranger. Read the room, then pick the word that belongs in it. The carton's room says gyunyu. The coffee's room says miruku. So the next pair you meet, skip which word won and ask the only question that matters. Which room am I standing in? Thank you so much for watching. Ame Nokori, the #1 app to learn Japanese in context, is free on the Apple App Store and Google Play.